Creepers left to rise, buzz like crazy. Everybody's trying to stimulate it. Spiders in the mirror and feel this can't be right. Back to the scene of a Friday night, to a blessed collision still frozen tight. Spear drinkers, Cupid and the sound of her first chime. And why did you argue? We're dreaming of those eyes, the best part of my life. And when we make love, babe, don't make a sound, the clock won't turn around.
Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a new vlog. We are starting this vlog holding the camera. It's Monday night and I am cooking dinner for my family. I'm making chili or taco soup, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of the same thing. But it is a dreary, cold, like rainy day, and that's chilly weather, right? So this is the last week before Halloween, and I kind of was trying to decide if I wanted to do like a week of reading thrillers, because a few of my friends have recommended thrillers to me, Ollie from Criminale and Sam from Sam Reads a Little. But I also toyed with the idea of trying to find like really old school historical romances and reading those for this week. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I haven't started anything yet. I just barely finished the audiobook I was listening to. It was book 4 in the Night Hunter series. I loved it. So I think what I'm going to do is go with the old school historical romances, and that's largely because I think I finally found a TikToker who talks about books in the way that I like. Her name is Chelsea Upton. I'll have her linked below, her TikTok page, and I'll link her Instagram page in case any of you aren't on TikTok. That's the place where she posts her videos, and I just happened to find her, I think kind of just randomly. Oh no, it was, I think Jess was talking about how she was sharing her vintage romance collection, and I was like, I want to go see. So I went to go check it out, and then I spent like an entire afternoon just binging all of her videos. Like, she has some really thoughtful things to say about historical romance, old school historical romance, and specifically bodice rippers that I thought was very, very interesting. So she kind of inspired this video that I'm starting right now, for sure, and she really made me think about bodice rippers in a different way, so I'm excited about that. Although I don't think, the books that I'm reading today, they're not technically, or today, in this vlog, I don't know that I'm going to find any that are bodice rippers because I'm depending on audiobooks for this vlog. But I did take 2 books that she had recommended. One is, oh shoot, I forgot the title already. Let's come over here and find it. One of them is A Gentleman Undone by Cecilia Grant. All that I really know about this is that this is basically a hero who is heavily into the gambling world, and the heroine is a kept woman, but she knows a lot about gambling, and so she ends up working out a deal with the hero to buy her freedom. I think that sounds like it could be really interesting. The way Chelsea talked about this really made me want to pick it up. And another one that she talked about is Slightly Dangerous by Mary Bellogg. I have read Mary Bellogg before. I really, really loved the book that I read by her, and I've been wanting to read more of hers, and I don't exactly remember how Chelsea described this one, but I think that she had this in a Starchy Duke recommendation, which we love a Starchy Duke. So those are the 2 books that are mostly for sure going to be in this vlog. I'm not sure what else I'm going to include. We'll see what else I can find. I also would really love to try, she's been on my TBR so much, a Meredith Dern. I still haven't read her. And as far as I can tell, I can only find 2 audiobooks by Meredith Dern, so I'm going to pick one of those if I have time and I haven't talked too much to include a 3rd book in this vlog. So I think the one that I'm going to go with first is the A Gentleman Undone, because that one sounds the most interesting to me. So I'm going to start that book, and then I will be back to update you and let you know how I feel about it. Hello, my friends. I've got a lot of updating to do about the books I've been reading, but first of all, I received something that I am so excited about. I've never ordered Owl Crate before. I ordered the September Maggie Stiefvater special edition of the Scorpio races. And it just got here and I am dying. I'm so excited to open this. So I'm going to open that first because I can't wait. I used to be a big YA reader for years and years and years. And I haven't read a YA that I've loved in a long time, but I still see the value there. But long time ago, like probably 2010, I was doing daily painting, where you would do a painting every day and you would post it online for sale, usually on like eBay. And it was this big community of daily painting artists. And I ended up meeting Maggie Stiefvater through there because she was also doing daily painting. And we weren't necessarily close, but that's how I knew her. We talked a little bit, and I just have been a huge fan of hers ever since then. I've bought all of her books when they come out. I love The Raven Cycle. I adore those books so much. And The Scorpio Races is still one of my favorite books ever because I just think it's beautiful storytelling and I love it so much. But I also recognize that I'm very attached to Maggie as a person, so I continually buy her books as they come out and read them. I haven't read her newest release, the one that's in the Dreamers trilogy, but when I saw that there was a special, I think this is like the 10th anniversary of the Scorpio Races, I was like, I have to have that. And so I bought it and I'm so excited. This is the first Owl Crate that I've ever had before. Like, look at this. This is an experience. Guide to unboxing. If you give two hoots. Okay. I don't know if I care about a guide to... Oh my goodness, this is so gorgeous. Photograph and film your unboxing experience. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited about this. Like, this is one of those books that will always have a lot of meaning to me, and I think that, you know, when I knew Maggie when she was an artist, she would write some of the most motivating and inspiring blog posts about chasing your dreams and being creative, and she actually is one of the main reasons why I actually tried to write a book. Like, I don't know, if you're new, you may not know, like, I've written 4 full novels. None of them, I believe, are worthy to be published, but it was a dream I always had. I did self-publish one. It's on my shelves here that I own 1 copy of, and it's not, like, none of them are fit for public consumption, but it was something that I always wanted to do. I always wanted to write a book, and she was a main reason of why I wanted to do that. So, I mean, like, I feel very emotional and excited about this. Like, I think this is the spoiler card. I've literally never had an Owl Crate box before, but, like, this feels very indulgent. This feels like a real experience. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we have something. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Maggie. Watch out. Cosmo is very curious. This looks like a saddle blanket. Like, the tag on this says Malvern Stables, Thisbe Island, Sport Horses, Kapaushka, which I love that so much. Like, this is just a throw, I'm guessing. I don't know. The tag on there has won me over. Honestly, like, I feel like this box, even if none of these things are things I will use, Kazi, please don't eat it. Like, I'm going to... This is like a poncho? This is! Look at that! Okay, time to put it on. What the heck? I was not expecting this. Okay. Kazi, don't bite it. Look at this, my friends. We're gonna wear this as we unbox this, because why wouldn't I? Right? This is a literal poncho. I'm obsessed with this. I need this. That's fun. I want to reread this book now. Okay, let's see. What else have we got in here? I'm going to leave this on, just so you know. This is Paulson's Bakery, Skarmouth Thisbe. This is the November cake scent. Oh my gosh, I love that. Ooh, that does smell like cakes. Look. Isn't that beautiful? I'm obsessed with this box. This is so fun. Okay, I have to turn my lights. They just turned off. Kazi, no. Okay, I'm back. I feel better now that those lights are back on. Let's see what else have we got here. This is fun. Is this tea? It is 7 tea satchels, Fathom and Sons, Kapelushka Cuppa, a fresh mint and wildberry blend. That's fun because you know how much I love tea, right? This says, for generations, Fathom and Sons has shared the magic of the island with discerning patrons, and this tea is no exception. Taste the magic of Thisbe's untamed landscape with its fresh mint and wildberry tea blend. One sip and you can feel the chill of the ocean against your skin. Pair with November cakes for an interesting and delightful combination. I freaking love that so much. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. I'm gonna show you each of them. If you don't care about this unboxing, I'm sorry, because... Ooh, that smells divine. Look how cute these little satchels are. Don't you just love tea? I am obsessed with tea satchels like that. I think that smells very minty, but also... like, I can get a little hint of the berry, too. That's very fun. I'm excited about that. Okay, these are pins. Oh, this is a pin. Oh, I love this. This is so cool. This says, Scorpio Races Rider Exclusive Participant Badge. Oh my gosh, y'all. Like, I am dying over this. I'm dying over this. I actually won... way back when. This is beautiful. I'm sorry. I'm going from one to the other. This is like one of those wooden bookmarks. Look at how stunning that is. It's like watercolored. I don't think it's hand. I'm sure it's printed on there. But it says, the ocean knows your name. Ugh. From the sea to the sea. I love it so much. That's beautiful. That makes me so happy. But I actually won like a CD audiobook of this, like that's how old. Like I listened to that in my car. Like the audiobook version of this book is fantastic. The narrators are so wonderful, and I won it straight from Maggie, and she like signed it, and I don't know, it was just very, very special. So this is cool. This is a Scorpio Races playlist for readers craving the feel of the deadly magic of November on their skin. The sea sings to us both. That's very cool. I'm excited about that. Scorpio Races photo challenge. I'm not real interested in doing that. So there's a Spotify playlist that I can find, which is very exciting. And then we just have the book, and this, I think that this is some of Maggie's art, which I'm very excited about. I actually own some of her art too. I need to get it framed. I'm bad at getting stuff framed. Even my own art. I'm also an artist. I mentioned that. Okay, let's look at this. I'm very excited to see this. Like, I'm kind of dying. That is beautiful. I don't think this is Maggie's art, but look at how stunning that is. That's so pretty. I love that. Thisbe, home of the Scorpio races, and you can see the horses, like, coming out of the sea. Oh, I love that so much. This is one of the most magical and beautiful books, and also this has a very sweet and lovely and heart-aching romance in it. I mean, it is YA, but it was still like one of my favorite parts of the book, obviously. Always a romance reader, right? Okay, and now let's look at the book. So I believe that this has... So this is signed, which is very cool, but I think that it has a different jacket that she designed, hopefully. One of the main reasons I wanted this wasn't really for the extras, it was because I wanted this edition of the book. The extras are fun, but like I really wanted Maggie's art, and I wanted it signed. Like, I have honestly all of my books signed by her, because she used to, back when she used to do book signings, she would come to Utah to the King's English Bookshop, and I went there and she signed all my books, and she was very gracious and very kind. But then she has been pretty seriously ill the last several years, and she doesn't, obviously because of COVID too, so she doesn't do book signings. So anyway, here's the outside, which is beautiful. That is a very beautiful edition. It's got like shiny lettering on it, which I really, really love. So let's see. There's her signature, which is very cool. Very cool. And it has preface to the 10th anniversary edition. I can't wait to read that. Oh, I'm so excited about this. This is beautiful. Okay, let's see the alternate cover. Let's see it and be excited about it. Okay, this is it. This is Maggie's artwork. This is so beautiful. Look at this. I don't know if you can see it. This light in here isn't doing it any favors, but I love this so freaking much. That's gorgeous. Let's see what it looks like. I don't want to bend it at all. You know, like every time they have like alternate covers, I'm like, but I don't want to bend it, you know? But also I really want to see what it looks like on the book. Oh my gosh, that's so gorgeous. I am dying about this. This is stunning. Like I have never, oh sorry, my white balance got all weird there for a minute. I've never really felt the need to get very many of these special edition YA book boxes, mostly because I'm not the type of person that like collects things like pins and unless it's something that means a lot to me, you know? So with this one, it was definitely something that I wanted. So look at this, gorgeous. So this is the front. Isn't that just stunning? I just love her work. I think it's so expressive and just so beautiful. And I'm just so thrilled to have this. Like, this just made my whole freaking day. It's so pretty. Like, I want to leave it on the outside, but also I don't want anything to happen to it. So there we go. There's my unboxing. I'm going to leave this on while I talk to you about the books. Okay, my friends. So I had big plans for this vlog to really be a deep dive into some bodice rippers, into some old school historicals, into maybe some historicals that were different. And it took me a day. Today is Wednesday. It took me an entire day of listening to the Cecilia Grant book, which is A Gentleman Undone. And y'all, I had to DNF it because, like, here's the thing about this book. This book is very unique. This is such a different book than, such a different historical than I think we're used to having. Like, it doesn't really have like a pattern that a lot of popular historicals follow. You know, I feel like if you get a Julia Quinn, if you get a Tessa Dare, if you get a Lisa Kleypas, you sort of know what you're in for. Even though they have a lot of differences in each of their books and they don't always follow the same pattern, like, you sort of know what to expect. This book is extremely different. So this book follows, I believe her name is Lydia. I can't exactly remember. I'm not going to look it up. The heroine, who is a courtesan, and she was a prostitute who is now a courtesan, and she is actually with the man who owns her at the moment. I don't know if that's the right word, but the man who is, like, keeping her. She's a kept woman of a certain gentleman, and that is not our hero. So she is being kept by him and is having a full-on physical relationship with him. And in the middle of one night, she is caught mid-act, not caught, but she is spied upon by our hero, Will Blackshear, and he is so overcome with, like, desire for her, he can't stop thinking about her because of what he witnessed. Our heroine is not your typical beauty. She doesn't have a lot of beauty, and so she uses other things to sort of make sure that she can survive and do things that she wants to do. And one of those is she basically fleeces these men in these card games. She's a bit of a card shark. She knows card games inside and out, and she is a very intelligent woman. She is able to sort of fly under the radar. Like, one of the things that really attracted me to this book was how Chels described this as the heroine is someone who has really kept herself small. Like, she doesn't live her life like she truly is. Like, she doesn't let her intelligence be shown because she needs to, you know, stay small, like, emotionally, to survive as a courtesan, you know, because none of these men want to see that she's more intelligent than they are. And I thought that was really, really interesting. And the thing that really appealed to me is that the hero is one of the only men who sees her as she really is. Like, he she ends up fleecing him in a card game, and he realizes what she's doing, and he realizes how intelligent she is. So they end up working together, and she's trying to teach him about the card games in a way so that they can win a lot of money and she can hopefully get her freedom. So I'm 50% of the way through with this book, and I just had to DNF it. And I do want to get back to it. I'm not sure if I will eventually get back to it and include it in this vlog, or if I'm just going to finish it to say I've finished it and rate it, because honestly, I really wasn't enjoying this book. It's not that it's poorly written, it's really just that I feel like it's very well written. Like, the author really has a way with words, and I feel like she is such a good writer that this is sort of on the edge of a literary fiction type of read. Like, the writing is so solid and it's very impactful, and at times it does draw attention to itself, and I feel like that is a drawback here, because it's letting sort of that writing and the impact of her words take center stage, and the story is taking a back seat. And I love good writing. Like, I love good writing, and I feel like there is one man who can really give me excellent literary fiction style of writing and a convincing, emotional, beautiful story, and sometimes tragic, and that is Cormac McCarthy. And I feel like he does that really well, where he tells a really great story, but he's also really an excellent and incredible writer that just leaves you, like, in awe of his words, you know? But I feel like there are a lot of people, a lot of writers who are good writers and who have that ability to write in a literary fiction style, but when they do that, it sort of sounds a little pretentious, you know what I mean? Because they sort of lean into that a little too much. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening here. I feel like the writing is a tad pretentious. I feel like it's definitely the type of writing that isn't purple prose, it's not flowery, but it is meant to draw attention to the words. And I definitely feel like because of that, the story is taking a backseat. There's a lot of descriptions in this book about the card games, how they work, and things like that, and the story is moving very, very slowly. It's not an engaging story. So I think that if you are if you are in the mood for some really sort of meaty writing that you want to kind of sink your teeth into and to dissect, that has a heavy romance in it, I would definitely recommend this book for you. But if you're more interested in just having a really compelling story, then this might not be quite it. Because this book has a lot of moments that are just painfully slow. Just painfully slow and very boring. But the writing is beautiful. The characters are interesting, but it also has that sort of melodramatic feel that a lot of literary fiction books can have. So, in a nutshell, I'm not loving this. I do want to finish the book, but like, y'all, I just had to like DNF it temporarily because like, I couldn't do it anymore. So we DNF'd that temporarily. And therefore, this whole vlog is sort of derailed. So, the next book that I decided to pick up is I am a patron of Smart Women Read Romance, and they have a monthly book that they read, and they do like a private discussion of that. So that is tonight. I'm very excited. And the book that they're discussing tonight is called Unraveling Him. This is a small town romance. This is by Claire Kingsley. I have not ever read Claire Kingsley before, but I know Jesson loves her, and so I just decided, you know what, this sounds just like something that I really want to read right now, and so I'm going to do it. So I'm currently reading that. This is Grumpy Sunshine Small Town Romance. I'm about a third of the way through, and I have a few hours to hurry and finish it before the live show tonight, and all I can say is I'm absolutely loving this. Like, this couple has such great chemistry, such great tension. The writing is fabulous, it's solid, it's fast-paced. Like, this is hitting the spot in a great way. So I'm gonna end this clip here because it's super long, and then I'll come back with my thoughts once I finish the book. Hello, my friends. I'm back for a vlog update. I'm on my way to the gym. I just went and got my nails done. Look. I'm gonna make you look. Aren't they pretty? Like, I'm kind of obsessed with this color. Like, I used to get my nails done all the time back when, like, acrylic nails, like the square ones, you know, like, I'm old, remember, I'm 40, but this was only, like, 10 years ago, maybe. I used to get them done all the time, and then I started sculpting, and it was like, no, can't do that anymore. But, like, I just love the process of, like, having freshly done nails, like, I don't know. Anyway, a few weeks ago, my husband surprised me with just an appointment for a manicure and a pedicure, and it was amazing. And so I went back today to get them get them freshened up, and I'm obsessed. Come on, focus. Focus. Is it too close? You'd think I would know. Like the glitters. The glitters, these give off real Tumble Creature vibes, you know? Anyway, so I'm having a bit of a late start, and I just thought I would update you on what I've been reading real quick before I go to the gym. So I finished the Claire Kingsley book, Unraveling Him. I adored that, honestly. I gave that book 5 stars. That was so fun and just so enjoyable. Like, the thing about that book that I just really loved, I loved the narrator. It has Jason Clarke as one of the narrators, and he's literally one of my favorite narrators on the face of the planet. And I just felt like, honestly, I could listen to him read pretty much anything. Like, he was one of the main reasons, what is reflecting on my face? He was one of the main reasons that I loved, I didn't love, but that I was able to keep going with one of the Rena Kent books because he narrates it. Anyway, so this book is very much sort of like a typical Grumpy Sunshine, but it's also not typical because, like, the heroine is absolutely sunshine. Like, she loves houseplants, she gives them old lady names, she carries them in her car wherever she's going, but she's also got, like, tattoo sleeves, like, and she works on cars. Like, she's a very competent, bad A, sunshiny woman. And I love that about her. And the hero is very big, huge, tall, broody, grumpy guy. And they just are perfect together. I just loved their relationship. He's very protective of the heroine. He is very attracted to the heroine. And he's just honestly one of those perfect book boyfriends that you read about and you're like, yes, I like him. This is what I like, you know? Like, this was just honestly just purely delightful. I absolutely enjoyed this immensely. So 5 stars for this one. Honestly, probably one of my favorite reading experiences I've had in a long time, just because it was just like escapism at its finest. It was just such a good story. Like, I don't know if it was just I needed that after going through the Cecilia Grant book that was honestly, it was a struggle. And honestly, so I didn't go back to the Cecilia Grant book. I'm reading something else right now, which is also a contemporary small town romance. And the thought of going back to the Cecilia Grant book, like, makes me want to cry. Because I just am not enjoying it. It's not an enjoyable reading experience. I think it's an intellectual reading experience, but that's not what I want right now. Like, I just want a good story, you know? I've talked about that at length. So, the basic plot of Unraveling Him is the hero is really into cars. Like, he just ended up finding this car so he can enter this car show that is rare, and he's going to fix it up, and it's what he's been looking for. But come to find out, the car was sold to him stolen, and they track it down, and the person, oh my gosh, there's a spider on the outside of my car. The person who sold it to him is the heroine's dad, and he was sort of involved in this stolen car plot. So that is how they meet, and he ends up trying to go back to her dad and be like, hey, this is stolen. And anyway, so Fiona, the heroine, she works for her dad, and she ends up leaving that job, but she doesn't have anywhere to live. So she goes packing up everything in her car, including her houseplants that are named after old ladies, like, very old. I mean, I'm an old lady. You know, like, I don't mean that rudely. Anyway, and she ends up just stuck with him. They end up stuck in a hotel room where there's only one bed. And it's just adorable. Like, the hero has a big dog named Sasquatch, and he hates everyone, but he loves the heroine. Like, it was so good. I really, really enjoyed that, and I can't wait to go back to read the beginning books and read more from this author. Like, she is just a bright light, and I just loved the heck out of it. So that was super fun. So then I could have gone back to the Cecilia Grant, but I didn't want to. And when I had my Audible app up, I also saw it said, oh, you're reading this Claire Kingsley book. You might also like Indigo Ridge by Devny Perry, which is her new release. It just came out, and it says it's a small town romance, and Jason Clarke narrates it. And so I was like, deal, let's do that one, because I wanted to read this book anyway. I think it looks interesting, and it's the first in a new series, so I always am excited when an author that I like comes out with a first in a series, so I can read it and not have to go back, you know? So this book is basically, it's a small town romance, and it's blurbed as like enemies to lovers. There's also a crime that is they're trying to solve. The heroine meets the hero. She's new in town. She is the sheriff. She's the new sheriff in the town. She meets the hero at a bar one night, and they have this insane connection, and they end up having a one-night stand. Little does she know that he is the son of one of the founding families in the town, and it would have been much better for her career if she had not slept with him. So once she comes back into town as the sheriff, they realize who each other is, and so then they kind of have this enemies connection, because he keeps trying to call her an outsider, so she's having a hard time fitting in, like the good old boy club. They're not really accepting her. People assume she got this career because of her dad's political connections, and it's interesting. It's very good. I really enjoy Devny Perry's writing. I think she is very good at telling a quiet story that is very compelling, and I think that's exactly what's happening here. But something I wasn't aware of that would feature in this book is that there's a murder mystery. There are some mysterious deaths that are happening in the town, so there's a little bit of that suspense thriller aspect to it that I'm also really liking. So this is a quick read. It's an 8-hour audiobook, and I'm really enjoying it. So that is my current read. Very happy to be there. And to be honest, I don't know what I'm gonna pick up next. I'd like to include one more book in this vlog, and like, my brain is telling me to go back and finish the Cecilia Grant. So that's what I think on paper I will do, but if I'm not feeling it, I'm gonna pick something else, because honestly, like, and that's the thing that keeps coming back to me, is it's like, I know a lot of people love this book, and it does have beautiful writing. Like, there are really excellent passages in here that you can dissect, like her words. She's really careful about her words having a big impact, but I stand by that the story is getting lost in here. The story is moving like, and like, I don't need a story to move like this, right? Like, you can have like this, you know, like, I just need there to be something compelling me to turn the pages other than just words, because I think, especially for me, an audiobook experience where it's just all about the writing is terrible. Like, I hate it, because me personally, I can't pick up and dissect the words as I'm listening it. What I'm listening for is a compelling story, and this ain't it. No, not for me anyway. So that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna go to the gym right now. I'm gonna go to the gym where my son is a personal trainer, because they're dressing up for Halloween, and I want to see what his costume is. So I'll try and get some footage so I can at least see him. Won't he love being featured on my YouTube channel? I'll update y'all when I finish this book, and we'll see what happens next. Hello, friends. I've got a reading update for you. I'm in my car again. It is October 30th. It's Saturday. And I am worried I'm not going to have enough candy for trick-or-treating. Like, I always worry about that every year. I'm like, what if I don't have enough and kids come to the door and I don't have enough candy? And then we usually get like a third of the amount of trick-or-treaters that I expect we will. But anyway, it's a good excuse to buy Halloween candy, am I right? Because that's the best candy. So I did finish a book. So I did finish Indigo Ridge by Devny Perry. And I was pretty conflicted about how to rate this book, because the thing, and this is something that I have found with most of Devny Perry's books that I've read, is that I really like her writing, I really like her characters, but it just doesn't feel quite enough for me in some ways. Now, granted, I haven't read her Tin King series, or I think that's what it's called, the motorcycle bike series, but I have read a few of her small town romances, and I really loved the setup of this one. I loved that he was a cowboy. I loved that he was described as like Brad Pitt from Legends from the Fall. Like, I adored that. I loved our heroine was pretty strong, and that she was the sheriff in town, and that she was definitely the type of woman that was going to do things that were sort of outside of the box she felt like she had been placed into. I really felt like they had good chemistry, our couple. I really, really loved the suspense in this. This one does have like a murder mystery, because there are these girls that are written off as suicides that they say have been, that jump off of Indigo Ridge, this mountain. But of course our heroine doesn't think that that's all there is to it, so she ends up trying to figure out if they're actually murders and who might be behind it, because they keep happening. So that was probably, quite honestly, my favorite part. I really loved the suspense. I really loved the mystery aspect of it. However, there were a lot of things that just sort of fell short for me, so I did end up giving this 3 stars. I felt like there wasn't enough steam in this, and honestly, like, that's something that I very rarely will critique, but there wasn't enough in here. And the reason that I feel like that stands out is also because the romance wasn't developed as fully as I hoped it would be. It felt like they very quickly went from one night stand, lusting after each other, to having deep feelings for each other, and I didn't really get a lot of feeling that transition happened, because it was sort of like they just went from one to the other, so that happened a little too quickly. But I did really like them as a couple, you know. I also really felt like this book fell into a lot of what I think are sort of stereotypes of mysteries, and I think especially like even small town Western mysteries. Like, I feel like you would have been able to watch this as like a Hallmark movie, or I don't know if they do murder mystery, but anyway, like some type of like a Lifetime movie, which I like those. I definitely do. But like, the thing that I feel like made it not work here is that there was nothing surprising. I was able to guess everything that happened with the mystery. I was able to guess how it was going to play out, how it was going to end, you know, and it just felt very predictable in that way. And I think that's a big gripe of mine. If you're going to have a mystery element to it, you need to make it so it's not super easy to guess, so that you don't know what's happening, you know. It felt like it had very stereotypical villain, and he was very clearly telegraphed, this is who, you know, he's a villain, and then, oh, come to find out he actually is the villain, you know, like that type of thing, which I feel like is honestly just so disappointing that I'm just sort of like, you know. So I didn't love the way the mystery was resolved. I also didn't love like the final fight at the end. I was hoping for more from our hero, honestly, and so I was a little disappointed there. I really loved the whole, they end up together, they have babies and children. I adore that. But I just felt like, because the way that their relationship felt so rushed, that the epilogue that shows them with babies, it just didn't feel satisfying for me. Like, I don't know, I feel like I want my characters to suffer. I want them to suffer together, and I want them to earn that happily ever after, you know. And I just felt like this had such a really great reading style. My heater kicked on finally because it's freaking cold. It had a really great writing style to read, not reading style. It had a great writing style. Like, I was very captivated. I was reading it the whole time. I wasn't bored. I really liked it. You know, I enjoyed I enjoyed the story, but there were just moments that left me disappointed and wanting more. So I feel like if this book had been longer, where we had time to sort of work on the relationship more and build up the mystery so that it was more of a satisfying ending and not so obvious, I would have really, really loved this. And I feel like this is something that is sort of a common complaint of mine with anything that mixes romance with another genre, like fantasy romance. I talk about this a lot. I feel like a lot of fantasy romances lean either one way or the other, where it's all focused on the romance and very little fantasy, which I prefer for sure. Or they lean too heavily into the fantasy and they don't give you enough romance, you know? So I feel like that's exactly what happened here with this romantic suspense, in that the romance didn't get enough attention. The suspense was great. I will say that for sure. The suspense was really well done. But the overall feeling I was left when I finished this was mostly just disappointed. So I thought about giving it a 4-star, but then, like, honestly, the big reveal, the big villain reveal, the big final fight at the end was just so disappointing to me. And then the epilogue too, that I was just like, this is a 3-star read. So I'm kind of disappointed because I had really high expectations that I would love this. So I didn't. What I initially thought I would do is go back to the Cecilia Grant. But, like, I gotta tell y'all, every single time I thought about picking that book up again, I was just like, ugh, I don't want to. I don't want to read it. I just could not, you know? And I know, like, this book seems to be very polarizing. Like, the people who love it, like, they freaking love this book. And the people that don't, like, they really don't like this book. And I don't necessarily feel like I hate this book, but I don't want to keep reading it right now for sure. I do, like, I was so sure from what I had heard about this book and from what I know of the people who recommended it, like, I was positive I was going to love this. I was so sure that I freaking ordered the entire series in paperback. It's coming today. So I'm a little disappointed. I do think I would like to try and read this physically because I think it may work better for me. But to be fair, I don't think this book will ever get a 5-star rating for me. And that's because it does what I call the cardinal sin, right? I don't remember if I talked about this in my other clip or not. I need to start editing my vlogs as I go because I feel like I repeat myself. But I feel like this book did something that I think is a cardinal sin in fiction, where it like, the author is clearly a very good writer. Like, she's very good at putting words together. She is very good at putting words together that are beautiful, thought-provoking, that really allow you to think things about what's happening in the story. And it was very clear that she leaned very heavily into that. And she did that at the expense of the story. So she's got all of this really wonderfully crafted words, really thought-provoking words that are happening in here. But it was just excessively wordy, and it was excessively wordy at the expense of the story. The story, in any fiction that I read, story comes first. Story needs to reign supreme, and it just didn't here. The story was so freaking slow, like literally so slow. So I am just gonna call it DNF'd at 50%, and I'm not gonna go back and finish that. So I honestly would like to add one more book into this vlog, but I kind of feel like this vlog is going to be very long because I've talked so much about these books that I'm just going to end it here. I know I said I would put one more in here. I changed my mind. To wrap things up, we read 2 small town contemporary romances. Absolutely adored the Claire Kingsley book. Like, that book was so good. I still think about it, and I think that if you are just in the mood for like a pick-me-up, something that's gonna really make you feel good, something that's gonna get you swept away really quickly, that's romantic and steamy and just fun, I would highly recommend that book. I am so glad Jesson turned me on to this author because I am a huge fan and I can't wait to read more. So that one was fantastic. Indigo Ridge, I think I don't know if I don't not recommend it. I think if you're a fan of Devny Perry, I think it's definitely worth a try. And honestly, it's such a short book. Like, the audiobook was 8 hours, so that's pretty short. And I definitely want to continue in the series, so I was disappointed with some things in there, but I also don't think it's a terrible book, but it's still a 3-star read for me. And then the Cecilia Grant book. The whole reason I started this vlog was to do historical romances that were older and something that was different. Wow, didn't like that. That was a miss for me. I think I'm going to go back and keep reading in the Bridgerton series now because I know that at least that's really good storytelling in my opinion. I think Julia Quinn does an excellent job of really telling a good story that even if some parts of it aren't quite as satisfying, she's an excellent storyteller, and I really love that. I actually am really a fan of Julia Quinn. I think she's a fantastic writer, and I love all the books that I've read from her. I have rated one of her books a 3-star, but in the Bridgerton series, they've all been 4 or 5 stars for me. So, okay, I'm gonna end this vlog here. This is very long. I hope you all had a wonderful Halloween, and I hope you enjoyed coming along on this vlog with me. And since we are here, it is the last vlog of Halloween, please feel free to leave me any kind of spooky Halloweeny emoji down below if you'd like to let me know you were here. Pumpkins, bats, vampires. I think there's a vampire emoji. Even a fall leaf, that would be fine too. All right, my friends, thanks so much for watching. I'll see y'all in my next video.